Hello, this is Miss Z giving you a video tutorial on how to become familiar with Photoshop and the paint tools that we will use for the mandala slice digital painting. Okay, so I wanted each of you to finish one of these coloring pages, if you will, just to practice and get familiar with some of the tools that we will use and, not put too much pressure on yourself as you explore Photoshop, especially if it's your first time. So quickly, you should just have one of those coloring pages. I give you 4 options. Have one of those. Just download the image that the attachment is in StudyWiz. Download that image, open it up in Photoshop, and it should look something like this. So I chose the butterfly. And here, I'm just going to show you just a quick little tour of Photoshop. So over here, we're going to have our layers, and we're not going to work with that today, but in the future with our slice, we definitely will. So just know that that's what that is down there. And over here, we have all the tools that are available to you. Now, anytime you see an arrow in the corner, if you 2-finger click that, you will see other options, and depending on what you click, that moves to the top. It's almost like a stack of tools, and anytime you see the arrow, you know there's a stack underneath, and you can choose whatever's in that stack. Okay, there's lots of stuff here. We're not going to use too much of this, but we will use some of these tools. I just want you to know that's what that arrow means. So if you ever can't find anything, no, it's probably underneath, okay? Like the gradient and paint bucket tool are in the same stack right there. So just keep that in mind if you can't find something. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to File, Save As, and please just put your class number. I put 80 because that's not an existing class. Amy Z for my first name and last initial, butterfly JPEG. Save it on my desktop as a JPEG. Sounds good. Yes. Okay, well that's because I already saved it. Yes, okay. So I've saved it. Okay, you'll see the name appear right up here. And these are all different spaces that you can open multiple files, but we'll just be working on one today. Okay, so the first thing I want you to become familiar with is the paint bucket tool. Now, in order to use the paint bucket, we will be working with colors down here. Okay, so this is foreground color and background color. If you ever want to switch them, those little arrows, switch them. Okay, and I'm just going to click on the white, and the 3 color scheme I will be using is violet and yellow orange and yellow green. Okay, so those are my colors. So I'm going to choose violet, just a dark purple, press OK. Okay, so I have violet and black now, and I can change that up later. Now, in order to select certain shapes, okay, and this is what you'll be doing in your slice, so it's kind of it's a really good practice just for you to know how to select areas. If you go down here to your 4th tool down, okay, you'll see Quick Selection Tool. If you 2-finger click and go under that stack, you'll see the Magic Wand tool. Let's use the Magic Wand for now, especially because we're working with just flat colors, just white paper, so it's actually quite easy. So I'm going to get the Magic Wand tool. It looks like a Tinkerbell wand, and I'm just going to select a shape that I want to work with, okay? And if I want to select more than one shape, let's say I want this shape, and this shape all to be painted at the same time. Make sure you're on the Magic Wand tool. Okay, you'll see the wand appear. And press the Shift key to add on additional areas. So I'm pressing down on Shift, and I'm clicking these extra shapes. Okay, and now all 4 of those are selected. Then I'm going to go to Paint Bucket tool. Now that is under this gradient. So if you don't see it, it's with gradient as well. So 2-finger click, there it is, Paint Bucket tool. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is just drop that color into those shapes, and it will fill completely. Okay, because I'm done with those shapes, I'm going to deselect, and the fast way to do that is Command D. And that will take all those marching ants away that were around that shape. Okay, so now I'm done with those shapes. Now I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try a gradient. Okay, and gradients are really fun. Now, in order to do gradient, gradient is stacked with the paint bucket tool. So two-finger click, go to gradient, and you'll see that gradient is created by your foreground color and background color mixing. You can see that up here. So because I had black and purple, that's the gradient that it's creating for me. I want to use a gradient with perhaps the colors, the other colors in my 3-color scheme. So I'm going to double click that and go to yellow orange. Okay, bring it down a little bit yellow orange and maybe do something light. Press OK. And now for my next color, I'm going to do maybe yellow green. So bring it down and have it be yellow green. Okay, and now I can see my gradient. Do I love that gradient? Not really. I don't think I'm going to blend them. So, you know, you are not limited to the only colors that are there. Like, you can mix a little bit. So because I have that yellow green, I'm going to switch them, and I'm actually going to go for a dark green. I'm going to move that up, and I'm just going to go for a dark green. And that gradient is looking way better. Okay, I kind of want my gradients to look really smooth. Maybe the tone of the color is different, but I don't want the actual hue of that color to be so different, because I swear to God, some gradients are just terrible, like that one, red and green. Oh, please don't use it. Okay, so I'm going for that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to Magic Wand, because I've already set my gradient. It's not going away. And I'm just going to choose that shape. I'm going to go closer, so press Command plus to get a little closer. Okay, and now I'm going to gradient tool right there. And there's all these gradients here. There's like just dark to light. There's a circle. Let's try a circle, see what that looks like. So I'm just going to go like this. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Go like that. Okay, so it moves the circle a little over. That's kind of interesting. Gotta say, I kind of like that. Okay, I'm into it. And when I'm done with that shape, Command D, okay, and I'm going to do that on this side. So again, go to Magic Wand, click on that shape. Make sure you're still not selected here. Make sure that's deselected, Command D. And I'm going to do the same thing with my gradient. Click on gradient, and again, just move that over. Oops, I didn't do it the same way. How does that look? Ooh, it looks pretty cool. Okay, and if you want to zoom out so you can really see it, you know, you can take a look and see what that's looking like. When you're done with that, Command D, okay, and let's say I want to do a solid color of like the color that's in between those two, like sort of there's that lime green and then it goes to medium green and then the dark green. Let's say I want that exact color, but it would be sort of hard for me to choose it here because I can't get the exact. So there's this really cool tool called Eyedropper right here, Eyedropper tool. What it does is that if you click the Eyedropper tool onto any color, it will find that exact color and put it in the foreground. So here I'm going to put it on purple. It'll find the exact same color. So anytime you need to find the exact color, use Eyedropper tool. It's really great for that. Okay, so I'm going to find that middle green, maybe a lighter, and I'm happy with that. And I'm just going to go back to Magic Wand, select that shape, maybe zoom out, so Command minus to zoom out, and I'll select the equivalent, hold down Shift with Magic Wand to get multiple shapes. Maybe that one and that one. And I'm going to use the paint bucket tool. Where is it? Oh, it's under the gradient, paint bucket tool. And it's going to fill with my foreground color. I'm just going to drop it right in. And now I have that exact color with my eyedropper placed inside. Okay, I'm going to just zoom in a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do one more gradient. Okay, Command D when you're done with that. So I guess I'll do a gradient right over here. So I think I want to change the gradient to maybe something that is like violet, really, or maybe orange. Here, let's try orange. I haven't visited my other color in my scheme, the other split complementary scheme. So move it down. Okay, we can go for that. as one color. And then my second color maybe can be a darker orange. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so I really like that gradient. I might even go lighter so I can really see that light to dark. Okay, so I'm just trying to visit all the colors that are in my split complementary scheme. So I'm just going to select here now, go back to Magic Wand, select that shape, okay, and I'm going to go to Gradient, which is under Paint Bucket, click on that, and I can see that gradient right there. I'm going to go for a different kind of gradient than this one. So I clicked all the way to the left, and I'm going to draw a line from here to here. Ooh, I really like that. That looks great. Okay, Command D, I'm happy with that. I'm going to do it on this side as well. Click on that, get my gradient going, and try to go the same direction, right? Because I want it to look the same. Really pretty. I'm really happy with that. So I might repeat that elsewhere. Maybe I want to get that light color here somewhere else. So anyhow, that's basically it. Okay, I think I've covered everything important, which is Magic Wand, pressing Shift to get multiple shapes for Magic Wand, the Paint Bucket tool, which is stacked with the gradient and the gradient tool right there, choosing your colors, and then of course Eyedropper tool if you want to select a particular color. Okay, you can always use your eyedropper and it will get that exact color for you. Okay, so please fill this all up and print it out and stick it into your sketchbook, and that will show me that you're ready to begin digitally painting your mandala slice. Great, thank you for listening.